Hello everybody, hi Ronnie, I can see your name coming up. So I'm guessing I'm not alone. Like that. Hello, hello, hello. Hi. And I guess Trisha's here as well. Hello Trisha. Welcome to Amsterdam. Look, a jacket. It's that time of year. Tish, welcome. Audrey, nice to see you. Hi everyone. And Catherine. So here we are. Casual Amsterdam again. And I wasn't really gonna, this doesn't go consecutively. I am actually where I ended the last one, just sort of by chance. So, there's the toko, which is like an Asian supermarket. Tom is here, welcome Tom. Okay. So yeah, and we're gonna walk around an area called the Lastage today, and just to give you a little landmark as well. Oh, you already saw the Skrystoren last week. I mentioned the Skrystoren. So let's zoom in, that's where that is. Ka-chang. So let's dip our toe. Look how nicely this quayside's coming on, eh? The great big wide cycle lane, I think. Maybe it's also going to be a road a little bit, who knows? What's with the bike over the railing? Is there a bike over the railing? Where? There's bikes on the railings. Let's see a bike over the railing. It happens quite often that bikes do hang over the railing because they have been, oh, that one. Exactly. They get thrown in, almost. This is how so many bikes end up in the canals. But the moral of the story is lock your bicycle to something solid and it should really be there to cycle another day. And that really sums up why. Okay. Well spotted. I didn't even notice that. Funny, eh? And this is a really stupidly locked up bike because look, it's only locked to the front wheel and you can just take that off by unscrewing those nuts there, but still it stopped it from going for a swim, so it's not that bad. It's better than not locking it at all. Hello Mary Ellen, hello Diane and Cheryl and Anna, welcome everybody and thank you so much for joining. But actually I think this mic might be brushing against my jacket, so let me just turn it around the other way. Great, here goes. Okay, so another casual Amsterdam. Look at that nice building up there. Basically, I didn't have time to produce a detailed one because I had a very good friend staying, well, not staying, but visiting, and that involved lots of dinners and drinking, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it did take up a bit of time. What a great big seagull this is, look. I'm taking it for a walk. It's my personal goal. Oh, he moaned at me. Right, and very leany over forwards buildings over here. Okay, so this area is just outside. Hey Tariq, welcome. Welcome, nice food, thank you for joining. Just to remind you, that's the new market. The city wall used to be along there. And then this area over here was actually outside the old city wall. And we're talking, back around about 1600-ish, before then. And it was called the Lastage. It was an area where lots of shipping happened. There were quaysides, there was sort of ship repairs, there was ship chandling. And I believe that Lastage actually comes from the word ballast, or means ballast, because That's the kind of thing that was going on here. And look, we even have some roses. Who'd have thought? They're still, I think they're roses anyway, but I stand corrected. What are they're not roses because they've got funny things in the middle. Or do roses have those? Huh. Where was I? Can't remember now. Very pretty colour. So yeah, this was an area that was outside the city walls, and it was outside the area that was protected by locks. And we can see that because there was a high tidal range here, and that's why the canal walls are so high here. They're much higher than, for example, in the red light Old Town area. There they're probably about half this height because that was never tidal. They always locked out the high tide with locks. Hello, Dawn. No problem at all. Thanks for joining. We're just wandering around the Lastage, and which is such a nice sort of chilled residential area. Really in the centre. What about Pet Shop Boys? Pet Shop Boys, Manic Street Preachers. Okay. Sounds like my time. The music I grew up with. Look at that nice red line up there. So we will come through this area in about 2 years' time, I think. Like in detail and find all the quirks about it. But there you go, the Red Lion from 1726. So I don't really know this area very well at all. I've never lived in this area. Look at these nice tiles. But I did go out to dinner in it quite recently. And I'll show you the place in just a moment. Goedenavond. Quite nice doors here, for those who like doors. Oh, this is a really modern building. Kind of modern, very unusual. Oh, okay. Preston. I'm impressed. Oh. Oh, the Lastage. 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 Sort of the French way. And this is the, if you're following, Kromboomssloot. Because I know, oh, thank you, by the way, Madeline, for the coffees. I got them just before we started. I'm starting on a coffee rush. Yeah, the Kromboomssloot. Krom is crooked, boom is wood, and sloot is ditch. So this is the crooked tree ditch. And this is where Lee took me for dinner. And so I really loved it. You would never say that there's actually a lovely courtyard behind. So they're really sheltered behind these buildings. And that's open through to the end of September. So yeah, it's Café van Beeren, and I definitely recommend it. The food was great. And it's somewhere to put on your list if you want to come to a place that is really local. So you see here, 8 Café van Beeren, of the Bears. Okay. Well, it's been in the family forever. One of those types of places. So, you know, they know what they like to do and they do it well. And the day dish there is 15 euros. And the guy at the next table to us, he lives in the area and he's a single chap. And he just eats there most evenings. And he said it's always great. I can't remember, I had the steak, I know that much. Can't remember what I had for a starter now. Oh, I know, I had the ceviche of cod. Yeah, it was really good. Okie dokie. So, walking past actual people's houses here. I'm not going to point the camera at the window because it's a bit antisocial. But hey, sunflowers. Yep. And off we go. It's so funny, there's people's houses here, but you know, just like huge, great big windows facing the street and just no curtain, nothing, just somebody sitting there with all their lights on in their house. It really is strange. No people, no, not many, and not many at all. It's a very quiet feel about it today. Let's just zoom in a little bit more. There we go. And here we're going up to the Montalbanstoren, which is the most famous landmark of the Lastage area. The people in this area, as I said, they were well outside the city walls. And so they didn't have the protection of the city walls in 1500s. And they wanted their own lookout tower because people would sort of come down from Gelderland and you know, potentially sack the area and steal their things. So they wanted a lookout tower, and that's what they got, the Montalbanstoren. Coming up. Oh, you know, this morning, I had a tour this morning, a walking tour at 10 a.m. It was fairly nice and quiet in the old town around the old church area. There wasn't a breath of wind, and there was the most beautiful, beautiful reflections on the water. It was quite something. Reminds me of when I used to do those cycles in the morning. Good morning, Amsterdam. I haven't really got my act together to do that this year. So if anyone has any questions about anything, just shoot and we can talk about whatever you like. Look at this houseboat with this kind of houseboat terrace of another boat. And here is Geertje, the little boat from Pure Boats. Nice little boat, that. Pure Boats is a small group boat tour company and private tour company owned by Geertje and James, or James and Geertje. Oh yeah, reflections are great. Look at this funny little street here. I don't think I've ever even been down it. Sweet. So this street is called Oude Schans. Another lovely word. Oude Schans. Sounds a bit like Zaanse Schans. And from what I remember of Zaanse Schans, a schans is a defense along a river or a body of water, a defense line. So Oude Schans makes sense because they had this Montalban's tower here to keep the lookout for invaders, and then along this waterway here would have been their line of defense. And then coming into this part, Oh, Susan at the Rijksmuseum. They're just having a change of exhibition at the moment. Oh, flowers. And it's about Asian bronzes, if I remember correctly. Look, we still have flowers. Such lovely colours. Now, what kind of flowers are these? I don't know. Pretty ones. I'm really not sure. I've got a lot of learning to do with flowers. I feel like I should know what these are called. They're not, no, they're not chrysanthemums, are they? Dahlias. Oh, Dahlia. Dahlia, sorry I got your name wrong. Beautiful. See how close I can get and stay in focus. Wow, I love iPhones. Okay. And another car-free, not car-free street, but no parking here, which makes such a difference. Just, you know, it's just so lovely not having to look out over cars. As much as I love cars and love driving, love this part of Amsterdam. Michelle, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining. Long time no see. Hope you're well. That in the distance is St. Nicholas Basilica, the primary Catholic Church of Amsterdam. And then let's just do a little pan across here. Across the way there, that line of buildings is possibly the ultimate place, I think, to live in Amsterdam if you're in the center. It's called the Oude Waal and it's south facing. Just beyond that, on the other side of that, is the Prince Hendrikkade, where I lived in the 90s for a bit. I lived all over the place. And I thought it was all grand and wonderful because it sounded so grand, a Prince Hendrikkade. But this is the little secret behind it. South-facing, lovely, beautiful view over the water. At buildings behind me, which are the same kind of ones as we're looking at on that side. So just stunning. In the days of squatting in the 70s, I have a good friend who actually, he pointed out which one it was. One of these ones across the other way was a squatted building in the 70s, kind of prime real estate, and he lived there. What are these wiggly little things? Who knows what the wiggly things are? Yeah, absolutely, all houseboats here. So the floating sort of trailer type across the way there, and then the proper boats over here. You know, doing these tours, certainly the detailed Amsterdam ones, have been so kind of, I should have a houseboat. No! No way. Houseboats are nothing but trouble. Oh man, you know, you gotta take them out the water every 7 years. Love the colours. You know, otherwise your insurance is not valid, and then if it sinks and you haven't got insurance, God knows how much that would cost to salvage it. It's a big old hassle. I've stayed on boats before. Oh, the trailer type would be much more, yeah, much more practical, because the trailer ones over there need to come out the water, but they're really ugly to look at, aren't they? It would be embarrassing. But where was I going with this? Yeah, you know what I've learned from all of these detailed Amsterdam things going around the city so much is how after the Second World War, before the Second World War, Amsterdam was so orientated towards light industry and manufacturing and all sorts of things like that, you know, dyeing of cloth, all sorts of different things happening. And that type of thing moved out of the city to sort of business hubs. That was a big change in how things were structured. And it's because of that that there were a lot of empty buildings on the ground floor and also a lot of empty quayside, because bear in mind that those businesses used to use the quaysides a lot. Coupled with, after the war, a big change in barge technology, where commercial barges changed. So there were all these other old style of barges lying around gathering rust, coupled with the hippie generation coming through in the 70s, and then grabbing an old boat, bringing it into Amsterdam, tying it up somewhere. It was illegal, but nobody cared. And then they just partied on. And then time went by, and in the 1980s, and the city was getting its act back together, they couldn't just kick these people out on their boats. They'd been there for decades. So they gave them a right to use that patch of quayside in perpetuity. How amazing is that? So they were given a gift of a property. So yeah, talk about being in the right place at the right time. There is a chance I could arrange for us to go. Oh, this is the other nice boat from Pure Boats. I remember when James got one, he was so proud of it. And painting it hot pink. I'm not sure what kind of restrictions they have, you know. No idea. But that would be something. It would certainly be eye-catching. Right. Summery colour. What, bright but hot pink? I love these little streets here. This is a nice little cafe as well. Cafe Captain and Company, Captain and Co. This leads up to the Newmarkt. That's where we started, just up the end of that street. But let's cover a bit more ground. Do a bit more sightseeing. The yellow. Okay. Yeah. Very interesting building across the way there. And look at these lovely old warehouses, my favourites. How many floors of beautiful loft apartments. So there we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I doubled at the top probably. Quite amazing. Great little cut-through alleys. There's a triangular room over here. What an odd-shaped room. Okay, now I think this is probably the best view we're going to get of the building opposite. It's the Grand Hotel Amrath, or Amrath, at the moment. And I'll probably dedicate an entire episode of Detailed Amsterdam to this one building, because it's just phenomenal. Yeah, you can close the shutters on those warehouses, Cheryl. I once upon a time, when? gosh, about 12 or 13 years ago. Spent New Year's Eve on the roof of this building. It was open specially for New Year's Eve with like a champagne-y thing at midnight. Lovely spot to watch all the fireworks and everything. Look at this. This is somebody's house. So let's check there's no one there before I point the camera at it. Because it's got a lovely old shop sign above it. Boter en kaas. Boter en kaas. With butter spelt the old-fashioned way. Now it's spelt with one O. They've changed the spelling of things in Dutch over the years. Mary Ellen, the building, yeah, the Amrath Hotel. I got sidetracked. Well, it's now a hotel, okay? And the thing is, it wasn't built as a hotel. It was built as a shipping company house. So there was a bunch of different shipping companies, and 6 of them had offices here where they were run from, and then people could go and buy tickets as well. So maybe we should learn some Dutch words from time to time. Okay, because the name of this building, when it was a shipping company, okay, let me break down the word from you. Schip is ship, or schepen is plural of shipping. And then varen, V-A-R-E-N, means to journey or to fare. If you think of us in English saying farewell, we're going wel varen. Okay, varen, but that's...
Amsterdam, baby. Hello.
Hi! Some very eccentric and friendly person shouting strange things at me. Okay, anyway, let's get back to this. So the ship journey house in English and in Dutch is the scheepvaarthuis. Okay, scheepvaarthuis is how you say it, and it does sound a little strange in English, so it's hard for me to climb in and out the car. Okay. So, a friend of mine lived here for a bit, a couple of years ago. Which one did she live in? She lived in this one here. Scheepvaarthuis house. Thank you, Natalie. When she moved in here, we actually had to do the whole thing of getting the pulley up on the hoisting beam there, because she had all her furniture brought over from the US. And we had to hoist a desk up the outside of the building, which felt very authentically sort of Amsterdamish. Okie dokie, so I'm gonna just do a quick pan around so you can see where we are. So down there in the distance is the Nemo, the building that looks like a ship but is not a ship. And here is the new buildings built on not built on islands, but everything's man-made islands here. Across the way there, you can see the old Shell Tower there. However, all these new buildings popping up. And then there's just the edge of Central Station sticking out. Okay, so I'm going to get some lovely views coming down here. Graag gedaan. So peaceful here. Okay. So this building is in sort of high Amsterdam School style. It's just magnificent. There's details all over it. Beautiful inside. I've got some lovely interior footage of it as well. But let's just have a quick look at a bit of the outside here. So you have the different oceans represented. Here's the Mediterranean Ocean, represented by this figure here. How do we find our bicycles? Oh, that's easy. What I tend to do is whenever I go to a certain part of the city, I always park in the same place for part of the city. So here is the Atlantic Ocean. Another figure up here. Some figures down here. And this one is the Stille Zuidzee. I'm assuming that the Stille Zuidzee, thank you for the donation, somebody, is the Pacific, I imagine. I might be wrong though. The still Southern Sea. Look, she's having a nap. Oh, look, oh, sweet. Looks like an owl on the left also having a nap. But yeah, as I said, there's just everywhere beautiful detail. Literally everywhere. Whatever, an Indian Ocean over here. It does look a bit like an Easter Island head, doesn't it? Yeah, I don't know. I don't find them scary. I like them. These are a play on Mercury. Oh wow, look at it all. Yeah, and then famous Dutch people, the statues, the heads of famous Dutch people, and very helpfully are their names underneath. Okay, but there's too many to go through, and as I said, I'm not going to stay here too long because I want to cover ground on these ones. But yeah, this metalwork here is just beyond phenomenal. The metalwork of the fences or the railings. And this hotel, unusually, and this might appeal to some people, you can drink whatever you want from the minibar for free in your room, and they'll stock it upon request. So look at this. So yeah, that is quite a saving if you like a drink in the evening in your hotel room, or in the morning, who am I to judge? But anyway, oh, and the doors, of course, the doors. Everything, as I say, so phenomenal. Absolutely, Mary Ellen. As I said, this will be like a whole episode all by itself. And what I like about the bridge just over yonder is that it actually is in the same style. So it was built to complement the hotel. I'll show you in just a sec. I love these fishy faces. Your smiley fishy face. I don't know what that person's doing down there. Weird. Just look the other way. Point the camera the other way. So here is the bridge, and that complements the style of the hotel. Amsterdam School Bridge. I love the way is this wisteria so nicely established here. Oops. So let's just grab the view from the bridge with the Montalbanstoren as well. So, you won't believe it, but I've never really liked being on stage. It's never been a thing for me. And I know being a tour guide has kind of got me used to talking into groups of people and what have you. And also these online tours have got me used to doing on things that are often would be way more extroverted than I've ever done before. So it's all been a very interesting journey. And you wouldn't believe it, but I sort of revived a friendship with Eric's that had drifted. And I knew that his friend likes theatre, and Eric likes being involved in theatre, and I don't. And I thought, well, it'll be a nice thing to try and get them doing. And then I thought, I could probably do the sound or the tickets or something like that. Well, we all went round to visit, and I was presented with a script. We were all presented with a script and parts to read. And guess what happened? I've been roped into performing in a play. So, I'm not a very superstitious person, so I'm happy to just say the name of the play. It's That Scottish Play. And who wants to guess my role? Okay. Anybody want to guess my role? No, I'm not in the starring role. I am not Macbeth, no. Eric is Macbeth. Eric is Macbeth. I am... Are you ready for it? I am Lady Macbeth. And it's written as a comedy. So it's called Macbeth, a Bloody Good Comedy. So, it's quite a big part. And it's done in a very sort of flippant way. So I read it, and it just was like, when I read it, I could do this. And it's going to be so much fun and a laugh. So, ouch, just about tripped. So yeah, I'm going to be Lady Macbeth. Don't you dare, Natalie. Oh, I love that. Yeah, that line's not in it actually, but I do have some wonderful lines like, "Oh, Macbeth, darling, welcome back." Done in a very flippant sort of upper classy kind of British way. Oh, love the views here. So yeah, who knows? First step Amsterdam, second step Edinburgh Fringe. It is the most fantastic script. It's so funny. It really is very, very amusing and well written. I don't know how long it'll be running for. And I don't know when we're going to do it. I somehow suspect it might be... Oh, it's in English. Yeah. I suspect it might be, say, June or July next year. Just because of everybody's time commitments. Hey, if you could like the video, I do appreciate it. Oh, wow. I see that a few people have left, so if you could like it before you leave, that would be really cool. Oh my God, yes, I haven't told them yet. And I've got to sing a little bit. But it's going to be that funny kind of singing when with people who can't sing do karaoke. Yeah, I don't even know where it's going to be. Yes, Natalie, but you're welcome to come. Nice, huh? What beautiful light. Oh, you won't believe what happened. I read in the news this week, I cannot believe the idiocy of our city council. You're just going to be so horrified when I tell you what I read. Just yesterday evening when I was in bed, I think. They have decided in their infinite... Oh God, it's so difficult not to swear when I tell you about these things. They've decided that there are way too many plant pots in Amsterdam, in the public spaces, and they're going to basically ban all things like this, and I think maybe allow only 2 per property of a certain size and type, and have restrictions on what types of plants you can have in them. I mean, it's just such a pathetic and ridiculous overreach. And you know, where things like this bring so much joy to so many Amsterdamers. Almost everybody in the city absolutely detests our city council. We can't stand them. And we hate the mayor. And she's just been appointed by the same city council for another 6 years. And they're just so authoritarian in their manner. It astonishes me how, people, I can't wait for the next elections to try and have a real shake-up. And people wonder, this is green left we've got here. People wonder why, in this country we had such an unexpected election result last time, because the green left elements and the left in this country are just behaving like real authoritarians. Don't know what they're up to, really trying to alienate everybody. Okay. So I've said my piece, got it off my chest, but I really couldn't believe it. I thought because they're green, they would at least, as far as I'd read before, they were actually encouraging plants in the street. Oh, where will I plant the slicey? I did bring one actually. I know I'd like to plant it, but I'm not going to say it's too rude. So, let's see. I think you can see my old house here. I read I could actually do a tour of Amsterdam, just visiting all the places I lived in the 90s. Yes, you'd think so, Susan. You'd think so. Berry time. Maybe what we've got to do is say, okay, we won't have pots, and everyone start ripping up the paving slabs and paint them in the ground, plant them in the ground. Maybe that'll do it. Oh, you got that, Dawn. So, this was my house once upon a time. First floor here. Voila. There we go. This one. Yes, that's what I was thinking, Audrey. It wasn't a bad spot, considering this was the view opposite, which I can't really see now because of all the trees in the way. But don't worry, maybe they'll chop those down soon. Let's pop up a side street and see if we got any nice sort of sundown views. Maybe I can find a place for the slicey as well. Yeah, control, control, control. Do this, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't think this. Oh God, it just never stops with the city council. Okay, so we'll pop down the side street. Hopefully it's a leafy one. Yeah, it's a leafy one, look at that. Oh, the hollyhocks are just amazing. They just grow from cracks in the pavement. That's the way we've got to go. Got to do guerrilla gardening. No pots, just cracks in the pavement. Who knows, maybe they'll come and put fines on the hollyhocks. As far as I know, in Haarlem, the policy is you can plant whatever you want anywhere, have pots everywhere, do what you want, as long as you don't block the street for emergency vehicles. Ah, what a lovely view. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, well, we've been here before, but now we're just on a mission to plant a slicey. So, let's see. It's going to have to be in somebody's private pot. Where? I've got one. Let me just double check. Oh, there we go. Look, it's one with the blue. It's a nice smiley one. It's got little upturned sides of the mouth, blue handle, and oops, I almost walk into a pole. What is this? It looks like, oh gosh, I thought it looked like a sculpture of some sort. It's just an old battered plant pot. Oh, he is, isn't he? Somewhere there's a home for him. Somewhere. Da, 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 da. Oh, I'm running out of quayside. I can slip around here. Oops. These plots are all too overgrown. Maybe, this looks like it's going to, oh look, that'll fit there. There we go. Maybe. Okay. There we go. Goodbye, Slicey. Outside somebody's house. I'm sure they'll see it. They probably saw me doing that. Probably wondering what the hell. Yeah, there's living rooms on that boat. Wonderful, eh? Really lovely stuff. Sort of succulents. Great. Well, thanks for joining, everybody. And I'm not sure what's going to be next week. I'll start working on a detailed one. But it's nice being able to just substitute a casual one. So I just haven't had the time. It kind of takes the pressure off. So, thanks for joining, everyone. And yeah, you take care. And yeah, if you want to leave a like, that'd be cool. Leave a comment, even better. Buy a coffee, even better. But if not, see you in the Facebook group, hopefully. Bye bye, everybody. Geen probleem, Natalie. Geen probleem. Susan. I should never have told anybody. Okay. It's like, no, I was gonna like, you know when you're kind of pull back each side. It's a pleasure. Pleasure, Gary. Thanks for joining, Natalie. And yeah, see you next week. Bye bye.